Hello, so today I want to talk about my plans for 2026, and I'm also going to make this personally relevant to you by giving you some advice to help you move forward. The first thing I'd like to state is that I've changed a lot in 2025, and I can only imagine how much more I'm going to change in the following year. Um, I would say broadly at the beginning of this year, I was somewhat into the Bible, and I would say since basically since the middle of summer, so the beginning of the second half of this year, I've really become obsessed with this, and so what I'm going to be doing this is going to be my last normal video or short video that isn't part of a major series um, uh, for the next at least 7 months. So what I'm going to do over January and February, I'm going to upload a 8-part series. I already have all 8 recorded. It's about 7 hours long in total. Um, and I'm going to schedule that out over the following 2 months. It'll be called The Hero's Journey. It's going to discuss sacrifice, it's going to discuss going into the unknown and transforming that unknown into potential and things of that nature. Over March, April, and May, at least the first part of May, I'm going to do a series called The Teachings of Jesus Christ. That'll be a 12-part series or longer, but at least 12 parts. And then I'm going to do another 12-part series covering the book of Genesis. 10 will actually be over Genesis. The first lecture will be an introduction to the Bible as a whole, and the second lecture will be sort of something that is going to show you how um, the Bible is relevant, how religion is relevant, and it's going to go even further than that. It's going to explain some basic principles. That video is likely going to be called Matter and Meaning. That's what it's going to be called as of right now. And then I'm going to do 10 videos over Genesis, and that'll get us halfway into August. I don't know what I'll be doing after that. Um, I think I'm going to. Well, I actually I am going to start a podcast. I don't know how consistently I'll be making them, so I don't know if I'll be able to upload once a week. Ideally, I will be able to, but I'll have to see. I guess it depends on how famous these 7 months of videos makes me. Um, but if I can, I will be doing that. Um, and so that's the broad plan of at least 7 out of 12 months of 2026. In 2025 and the second half of it, I made some quite major improvements to my life, and um, so I would say I'm doing better than I was in 2024 and in previous years. And so what I'm going to be doing in 2026 is I'm going to be in depth studying the Bible and reading and doing those types of good habits more than ever before. And so I want to invite you to do the same. So I'm going to. Well, I used ChatGPT for this. I told it to make a yearly plan for the Bible, and so it's about 3 or 4 chapters every single day that you read. I'll put that in the description, so you can follow that as well. And I'm going to be doing a lot of work on Genesis. I'm currently writing a book over the Torah, and I'm currently in Genesis. And so the plan is to upload Genesis lectures in the summer, in the beginning of August, and then I don't know when the Exodus lectures will come out, but probably 2027. I would say early 2027. Um, maybe mid 2027, but something like that. Nonetheless, so that's my plan, and so I guess one of the things I've been struggling with is how hard I should push myself and how much I should ask of myself. Being someone who's in high school and being someone who's young, and decently new to being hyper disciplined, and hyper restrictive of what I do. And so I don't know how well this is going to hold up, but my plan for 2026 is no social media and no video games, and just pure working all day long, pretty much. Um, of course, it's not going to only be that, because I still live with my parents, and my family like to do things, and so it won't be that completely. But my goal is to be quite disciplined in 2026, and one of the things that I found that really helps me stay disciplined, especially in terms like if you want to quit a habit, um, you really shouldn't try to quit the habit. That's not really a good way of thinking about it. I suppose like let's say video games, because it's kind of an easy example. If you want to like quit video games, you shouldn't focus on quitting video games. You should focus on replacing that time with something else. So like let's say you don't read the Bible and you play video games for like a few hours a day. Read the Bible for like 5 minutes and then read it for 10 minutes and then do 20 minutes and then read a different book. And I suppose what else? And then learn to meditate, and then learn to work out, and then bam, you've replaced at least like half or most of your time that you would have spent playing video games. Now, what I've noticed also, um, a very if you want to maybe not quit fully, but at least cut down. I mean, if you want to quit, um, there's you can still do this, and I think this will lead you to quitting something, is to not actually immediately stop it. Immediately stop doing it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be like, all right, I'm going to stop this forever. And then you're going to quit for like a day or a few hours. And then you're going to go right back to it. And then you're going to like lose respect for yourself. And then before you know it, the mere fact that you say, I'm not going to do this, doesn't actually mean that you're not going to do it. So that's not something you should do. What you should do is you should track uh, how much of a bad habit you do. So for video games, literally go on your computer or your laptop or on your phone and start a timer and time yourself playing video games. And when you're done, stop the timer and put it in like a Google Doc or something and just track it, or a Google or a Microsoft Word or something like that. And just store the information somewhere, or even write it down. Just store the information somewhere, and then what you're going to do, just do it over a week. Don't even like try to stop. Just like track yourself over a week, and see how often you play. Now if you're like in school, then you'll probably have a spike on Saturday and Sunday, or even Friday. And So then like a clear way that you could fix that is either like study for a test at school, or just replace some of that, or just do something um like disciplined over the weekend, like read a book, or I don't know, something. Or even you can even like watch educational content. I mean, for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop social media completely, but it's perfectly reasonable, like if you were watching like video game videos on YouTube, to like change that to something educational, like my YouTube channel. And so you can do something like that, right? And so you can like track yourself doing that, and then figure out the like when is it that you play and why. Okay, well, you play whenever you have free time. Okay, so you can replace that free time, or you play on only on the weekends because you have so much free time, and on the weekdays you study, and so you just made it a habit of playing. That like this is why it's so difficult to break bad habits, is because they're habits, right? And you've established a cycle, and your brain's used to that cycle. So even if you like tell yourself, oh yeah, this is bad, it's actually quite hard to instantly quit, because you've established this routine. And so, anyways, you can time yourself, and then obviously one of the things you can do is just try and drop the time, try and lower the time. So let's say on average you play 3 hours a day. Maybe you play like 6 hours on the weekends, but whatever. Um, and so try and get that to 2 hours and 40 minutes, or like 2 hours and 50 minutes, right? Just like super minor changes, and then over time what's actually going to happen is that you're actually going to stop wanting to do these bad habits, because just think about it for a second. Why are you doing things that you know are detrimental to your health and to other people's health? You're doing them because you enjoy them. That you wouldn't do it otherwise, right? You would not do something bad if you did not want to do it. And so what is the want, right? Well, the want's a desire. And so what you're doing when you replace a bad habit with a good habit is you're redirecting that desire somewhere else, right? It's not suppression of these desires, it's redirection or reorientation of these desires. And that's going to uh, bring about the actual desired change, which is to quit bad stuff and to start doing good stuff. And so you can make a bad thing a habit, but you can also make a good thing a habit, right? So the first time you go to the gym, after that point, you're more likely to do it again than you were if you never went to the gym. And so imagine if you did, imagine if you did like 10 push-ups a day for like a month. Well, then it'd be really easy to do like one set every day. And then after one set, it'd be really easy to do 3 sets, and then so on and so forth. And it's so you can do that progression thing with good habits, and you can do deprogression with the bad habits. And then when you do this at the same time, you sort of swap them, and so now you're doing more good habits than you are doing bad habits, instead of the reversal. And so that's how you quit. And so with 2026, if you're not a disciplined person, like if you never read a book in your life except for like at school or something, don't tell yourself, oh yeah, I'm gonna read 3 hours every single day in 2026, because it's not going to happen. It's not even going to happen on the first day. I can promise you, it's not going to happen. Unless you're like a very disciplined person and you've been disciplining yourself to do other things. But like if you're just like someone who's completely never been disciplined, don't think that you're going to do 3 hours of anything in the first day, right? Like maybe 3 hours of like something, like halfway through the year. um and so instead, say, okay, starting January 1st, I'm going to read 5 minutes a day. Or starting January 1st, I'm going to do 10 push-ups every day. And that's because that's better, because you're actually going to do it, right? It's better to be consistent, even if you're doing less on average. It's better to be consistent than to have these highs and these lows, where like one day you read 1 hour, and then one day you read 5 minutes, and then 3 minutes, and then like 2 hours. Having those, of course, that's really extreme, but having those spikes is actually worse for you. It's not actually helping you, because you're not establishing the routine. And so also with these good habits, you want to do them at the same time every single day. And so one of the best things that you can do to improve yourself is like obviously make a daily schedule, but like literally just start out with like a bedtime, right? Or well, like a bedtime and or a wake up time, right? Just one, and then get those, like focus on that for like January, right? The whole month, just focus on your sleep routine, then add in the good habits, right? And I mean, getting adequate rest is also going to help you quit anyway. So it's not like you're not doing anything meaningful. You're like, this is like something very important, because what you're doing is you're establishing a routine. And then, you know, once you, if you're really like if you've managed to every single day for like a whole week straight, the first week of the year straight, uh, uh, wake up at the same time and go to bed at the same time, and you've got adequate rest, then you can start saying, okay, I'm going to start doing 10 push-ups. And I'm not saying like don't do that. What I'm saying is like get your life organized. Like make a schedule, because that is going to completely uh, help you in every other area of your life. And so that's my invitation to starting off 2026, is to start changing your life, and I'm going to start changing mine as well. And so we can do this sort of thing together in a way. Although I don't imagine I'm going to be making any more videos like this anytime soon, um, where I talk about my progress, but maybe I'll do that sometime. And so enjoy your New Year's, and have a good 2026.